Kayla Harrison has shared an emotional and deeply personal message after officially withdrawing from her highly anticipated bantamweight title fight against Amanda Nunes at UFC 324. The former champion confirmed that the decision was unavoidable after she underwent surgery to repair herniated discs in her neck, an issue that had been causing serious concern behind the scenes. Harrison explained that the surgery took place in New York City under the supervision of a specialist and described the experience as one of the most difficult moments of her professional career. Preparing for a title fight is already an intense process, but being forced to step away due to a major medical issue added another layer of emotional weight. As a result of the procedure, the planned championship clash will now need to be postponed and rescheduled for a later date, leaving fans disappointed but understanding of the circumstances. In her statement, Harrison did not shy away from addressing the impact of her withdrawal. She offered a direct and sincere apology to Amanda Nunes, acknowledging how much the fight meant to both of them and how excited she was to share the octagon with such a legendary opponent. Harrison made it clear that this was not a decision taken lightly and that pulling out was heartbreaking, especially after months of preparation and anticipation. She also took time to thank the UFC for standing by her throughout the situation, highlighting the professionalism and care shown by the organization's medical staff and support team. According to Harrison, ensuring her long-term health was the top priority, and she expressed gratitude for being surrounded by people who helped guide her through that reality. Harrison's message also focused heavily on gratitude toward those closest to her. She praised her doctors for their expertise and dedication, her coaches and teammates at American Top Team for their constant encouragement, and her family for stepping up during a challenging period. In particular, she mentioned her mother, who has taken on a major role in caring for her children while Harrison focuses on recovery. That support system, she explained, has meant everything to her during this time. Now officially in the first days of recovery, Harrison stated that her attention is fully on healing and slowly beginning the journey back to competition. While acknowledging that the road ahead is uncertain, she expressed strong faith and optimism, saying that even when she doesn't fully understand the plan, she trusts that this setback is part of something bigger. She closed her message by reassuring fans that this is not the end of her story and promised that she intends to return stronger, more focused, and ready to finish what she started. The ripple effects of Harrison's withdrawal were immediately felt across the UFC 324 card, leading to significant changes in the event's structure. Sean O'Malley reacted publicly to the news that his fight would now serve as the co-main event following the reshuffle. With the bantamweight title fight postponed, a major opening was created at the top of the card, and O'Malley's bout was elevated to fill that high-profile slot. Alongside this change, other adjustments were confirmed, including the matchup between Natalia Silva and Rose Namajunas being moved to the main card, while the fight between Omar Nurmagomedov and Davison Figueiredo remained on the prelims. O'Malley's reaction to the promotion was captured in real time, and it was clear that the news carried significant meaning for him. He appeared both surprised and energized as he processed the implications of the shakeup and what it meant for his own career. Stepping into a co-main event role on one of the UFC's biggest cards of the year represents another milestone for O'Malley, reinforcing his status as one of the promotion's most recognizable and marketable stars. He described the moment as surreal and emphasized how motivated he feels eating into the event. Despite the unfortunate circumstances that led to the change, O'Malley's response reflected confidence, excitement, and a readiness to deliver under increased pressure. With more eyes on him than ever, expectations will be high for a statement performance. Elsewhere in the MMA world, Paddy Pimblett addressed a recent heated exchange with Dan Hooker that sparked controversy and strong reactions from fans. The back and forth began after Pimblett appeared on an interview with MMA Guru, where he used a metaphor to criticize Hooker's grappling ability. While Pimblett maintains that the comment was strictly an analogy related to fighting skills, Hooker responded aggressively and escalated the situation by referencing Pimblett's close friend Ricky, who tragically died by suicide in 2022. Speaking with Main Event TV, Pimblett made it clear that he felt the exchange crossed a serious and unacceptable line. Pimblett strongly denied ever making disrespectful comments about Hooker's mother, stating clearly that his remarks were never personal and that he believes Mrs. Hooker is likely a lovely person. According to Pimblett, his words were taken out of context, while Hooker's response went far beyond typical trash talk. He explained that bringing up a deceased individual, particularly someone who cannot defend themselves, was deeply upsetting and inappropriate. The situation became even more painful when members of his late friend's family reached out to him, confused and hurt by what was being said publicly. Pimblett expressed frustration that while his initial analogy was widely condemned, far fewer people spoke out against Hooker for referencing someone who had passed away. Reflecting on the backlash, Pimblett spoke about what he perceives as a double standard within the MMA community. He suggested that regardless of what he says or does, he is often portrayed as the villain, while others are given more leeway. He reiterated that his original comment was strictly about Hooker's grappling and nothing more. Pimblett also questioned Hooker's current standing in the division, pointing to recent losses and arguing that Hooker is no longer on his level as Pimblett continues to climb toward title contention. Closing his remarks, Pimblett emphasized that while trash talk is part of the sport, there are limits, and involving deceased individuals crosses a boundary that should never be crossed. In his view, respect was broken in this exchange, and that is something he cannot overlook. Daniel Cormier also found himself responding to renewed controversy, this time involving comments made by Jon Jones. Appearing on the Ariel Helwani show, Cormier addressed remarks Jones made during a Red Corner MMA interview, where Jones accused him of being difficult to work with during the filming of a reality project. Jones claimed that Cormier treated staff poorly and acted in a controlling manner throughout production. Cormier pushed back firmly against those accusations, questioning their credibility and pointing to his long history of working with fighters, staff, and production teams without similar complaints ever surfacing. Cormier acknowledged that Jones may genuinely feel that way about him, but he emphasized that personal feelings do not necessarily reflect reality. He explained that during their time filming together, their interactions were mostly professional and, at times, even cordial. According to Cormier, there were moments when they laughed together and managed to coexist without major issues. However, he was clear that being cordial does not mean being friends. Cormier reflected on the deeply personal and hostile nature of their rivalry, referencing past incidents that involved family members and what he described as repeated misconduct during Jones's career. Those experiences, Cormier said, are not things he can simply erase or excuse. For Cormier, choosing not to pursue a friendship is not about holding grudges, but about self-respect. He explained that he is fully capable of working professionally alongside Jones, remaining respectful, and doing his job without pretending that the past never happened. Being civil, in his view, is enough. He concluded by reaffirming that while he can coexist professionally, he has no obligation to rewrite history or form a personal relationship that he does not believe is deserved. Meanwhile, Reinier de Ridder shared his thoughts ahead of his upcoming fight against Caio Borralho at UFC 326, describing the matchup as an ideal one for him at this stage of his career. Speaking about his return to full training, de Ridder said he feels refreshed, motivated, and ready to push himself after gradually working back into peak condition. He explained that the timing of the fight is perfect, allowing him to complete a full training camp and re-enter high-intensity preparation without rushing. De Ridder believes Borralho presents a compelling and stylistically favorable challenge, calling it a perfect matchup and expressing genuine excitement about the contest. Beyond the immediate fight, de Ridder also opened up about his long-term plans. He revealed that he intends to finish his career at light heavyweight, citing the physical toll of repeated weight cuts as a major reason. Cutting to middleweight, he explained, has placed significant strain on his body over the past year. However, he made it clear that he is not rushing that transition. De Ridder believes he still has unfinished business at middleweight and wants to prove himself further before moving up permanently. One of his goals is to show that he can consistently defeat elite competition, specifically mentioning his desire to prove he can beat Brendan Allen on any given night. As he prepares for UFC 326, de Ridder remains focused and confident, viewing the Borralho fight as a crucial step toward defining the next chapter of his career. In a lighter moment that quickly went viral, Conor McGregor provided fans with an unexpected laugh after mistaking a random bus driver in Ireland for Hollywood actor Sean Penn. The incident showcased McGregor's trademark personality as he jokingly questioned whether he was imagining things before confidently declaring that the driver was Penn, now living a different life behind the wheel of an Irish bus. McGregor leaned fully into the humor, narrating the moment with sarcasm and playful exaggeration, praising the supposed career shift and referring to the driver as a working-class hero. The clip spread quickly online, with fans enjoying the glimpse of McGregor's lighter side away from fight talk and controversy. While the driver was not actually Sean Penn, the resemblance in McGregor's reaction made for an entertaining reminder of why he remains one of the most charismatic figures in combat sports. Arman Tsarukyan also made headlines after appearing on a live stream with streamer N3, where the interaction quickly turned playful. During the broadcast, Tsarukyan jokingly poked fun at the streamer's dyed hair, teasing him about his style in a lighthearted exchange that drew laughter from both sides. The banter remained friendly and casual, with Sarukian emphasizing that the comments were not meant to be taken seriously. The conversation later shifted to a more serious tone when Sarukian spoke about his relationship with UFC president Dana White. He described White as someone who looks after fighters he respects and shared stories he had heard within the MMA community about White supporting fighters during difficult times, whether due to injuries, retirement decisions, or personal hardships. According to Sarukian, that support goes beyond contracts and matchmaking, revealing a side of UFC leadership that fans do not always see. Finally, Dana White himself firmly shut down speculation surrounding a potential fight between Conor McGregor and Michael Chandler, particularly rumors suggesting it could take place at the White House. Addressing the topic directly, White made it clear that the matchup is no longer under consideration and explained that the discussion dates back several years. He also addressed Sarukian's current standing in the lightweight division, stating that while Sarukian once had a clear path to a title shot, he failed to capitalize on the opportunity presented to him. White emphasized that reliability is just as important as talent when it comes to championship fights. According to him, fighters must show that they can be trusted to handle the responsibility that comes with fighting for a title. His comments underscored the UFC's focus on consistency, accountability, and long-term planning as the promotion continues to shape its biggest fights and future champions.